Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Tifosi Time. This is episode 71 of your favorite Serie A podcast, the podcast good enough to fall asleep to, as many have dubbed it. We are coming to you live 9 p.m. Eastern, Monday nights on Twitch, YouTube. You can also check us out on every podcast platform there is. If you have not done so, please remind you to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can actually join us live. Tell us how little we know or how much you agree with us. We prefer the second. But my name's Frank. I'm here with Dan, Chris, and Pietro, and we have a lot of stuff to talk about as the transfer window heats up in Serie A.
All right, let me start this off.
All
We got Genoa 0, Udinese 0. Crazy good game. No,
I think you're
you guys don't want to talk about that?
You're burying the lead, but let's hold off on that one.
All right, fine.
Quick reminder also for those of you guys that are watching, there are some links in the that the producer's going to throw in the back. If you guys want to catch any of the games live, you can get a free trial courtesy of Paramount, and that is link below. They are not actually a sponsor, but there is a link there to get you some free trial and watch the HT games live. So, yeah, let's actually start off where people care about, the transfer window. We might actually have good timing when it comes to soccer because of what is heating up and coming out of Italy around 2 a.m. right now. There is a lot of news coming out on Gazzetta dello Sport and a lot of other things that Juventus is very, very close to bringing home a present for Juventus fans. Vlahović is very close, supposedly, to actually signing the deal and bringing him in the January transfer window. Let's start there and then hold off the 0-0, Dan. What do you think?
Yeah, no, so you were saying it's not just Gazzetta. There's a few sort of Agresti, the Juventus reporter, Sky Italia is reporting it. So it's multiple reports. So it's we wouldn't be disexcited about it if it wasn't, actually a possibility. I said from the beginning, I thought he was going to come. I didn't think January was actually going to be a legit possibility. So that's the exciting part, that they are just going for it.
Agreed. And the reported deal, or as close as we can get, the reported deal is saying that Juventus has gotten an agreement with Vlahović around $7 million a year, 5-year deal, and then that they're working on
4-year.
5-year. I saw
5, but it's still not.
I'm hoping, and it's not final, but I'm hoping it's also 5. And they're working with Fiorentina. Fiorentina basically opened up the conversation, said, "Hey, look, we want 70 million they wanted for him. Anyone that brings cash can have them, basically, because they know they're going to lose them." And supposedly they're finalizing a deal somewhere between 60 and 70 million to bring them on board.
So Fiorentina's made peace with it. They're willing to sell them. They definitely want cash. They don't want players exchanged. I think what they got hammered down is how Juventus gives that $70 million. Like, is it going to be – I don't think they're going to take another Chiesa deal, like where they got sparsed out into like a few years. I think they're probably going to want a large sum up front at least. So that's really the parts that got to get hammered out. And from the things that I saw is that he might be doing a medical on Thursday or Friday. Like, that's how close this is.
Well, it has to be.
Guys, everybody wants this deal to be done, all right? But let's not get our hopes up, all right? They talk with us when we buy it, really. Now, already I saw some podcast from Florence, Fiorentina, the fans, they started to call him Gobbo di Merda. Gobbo di Merda. They don't like Gobbo di Merda.
Everybody needs a nickname. He'll forget about
Gobbo. It's Juventus. Gobbo di Merda. Everybody from Fiorentina that go to Juventus, they call Gobbo.
Well, it goes back from the days of Baggio going from Fiorentina to Juventus.
Bernardeschi.
There's a history of it.
Chiesa. Torricelli too. Wasn't Torricelli?
No.
He wasn't up Fiorentina.
I think he went to Florence.
Oh, he went to Fiorentina after. It doesn't matter. Florence. They hate Juventus. They're not going to stop hating Juventus.
Yeah,
right?
It's not going to make a difference.
I mean, we called this a while ago. We said if he was going to leave, it was going to be Juventus. He was
but
he wasn't interested in going anywhere else.
Yeah, he was.
We didn't think it was going to be January.
No, I even had some doubt. Right, like we all knew he supposedly wanted to go to Juventus, but I had some doubt with the financial.
No, but they say he was a fan from. When he was kids.
Well, that's what's helped us out. That's what helped us get Locatelli.
You're lucky.
And that's what helped us get, Vlahović if we get him.
Plus, something called Serbi that came to Juventus, they did great.
Well, that's in our favor, right?
Yeah, he's comfortable in Italy. You know, he's
Yep.
been there a few years, so you know, not wanting to go to England. I don't blame
You
him.
know one thing: if Juventus keep on winning, he can be Pallone d'Or too.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, he's obviously been a fan. He loves the club. Listen, he could be the way he looks now, right? He could be a player that plays for Juventus for 10 years, or he could be a player that plays for 4 years and ends up getting sold somewhere else. Either way, it's the right move in the right moment if we can pull it off.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, you can't find one person who is in disagreement with this move.
No. The other fans are calling it a 10, right? I just watched the Rome podcast from Sick Wolf in Italian. If we have any people that can hear both, and he was just saying, he's like, I can't say anything. He's like, I'm stunned. He's like, but you can't say it's not a 10.
Yeah,
right?
Why wouldn't you do it?
And listen, it also makes a ton of sense for the state Juventus is in. Juventus has a big problem in attack. We've all talked about it.
You imagine if the Morata killed never the guy. Hey.
Well, and it's not just about the goals, which we desperately need. It's about the play that he can add to the team to allow us to actually a forward that can receive the ball, defend it, allow us to come up. Everything that we can't do now with Kane and Morata, it's going to mean a lot to the team.
I'll tell you something. You know, I'm a fan of Dybala, but to him in the team, we can do even without.
Well, I actually think of it the other way.
If we find the right midfield,
I actually think of it the other way.
No. I mean, the Dybala would do great to him. But the problem with Juventus, we're having to solve the problem with the Dybala because we have to have a good midfield. You cannot see the Dybala make the defense, the terzino there.
Yeah, no, we need a good midfield either way. But I think Vlahović, this is some of those things that people aren't even talking about, right? Like having a Vlahović in the team is going to help people like Dybala.
Dybala, McKennie is going to work great with him.
Chiesa, when he's back.
You know what I like about Vlahović besides the goal? He has a vision. You know what he's talking about. He has a good pass. And the wind, he can start up the ball right.
He's a complete forward. Without
he's complete forward.
He's a forward. So the whole risk is not to get injured.
Yeah. He can be that target man that the team can point to help us come out of our zone, right? Because we defend well, but we can't make up for the mediocre midfield because we don't even have a forward we can give it to that can receive the ball and hold the defender off so the rest of the team can support. Yeah. Our forwards get beat to the ball.
Yeah, but with the forward like that, you give a chance to the defense so the midfielder to get up.
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying, that he brings to the team that besides the goal, that's the most important thing, to allow your forwards and midfield to come up and support so you can actually hold the ball in possession, join the offensive, and actually create some chances. Our forwards, we talked about it in the last game. We'll talk about it more. Our forwards, they don't win 150-50 ball.
Dude, Morata had the worst game I've ever seen, dude.
Yeah, and now you put someone there that has vision, can receive the ball, wins the ball in the air, can hold the defender off, block the ball with his body, and allow the midfield to join the attack, right? And it's just going to change the entire feel of the team.
So yeah, I agree with everything you guys are saying. But to look at it now as a Juventus fan and then also other teams, for me, Juventus now, assuming Dybala is healthy, and he's going to play the rest of the season, they have the best striker in the league to go along with the best playmaker in the league. Dybala is, to me, the best playmaker in the league when he's on and he's healthy. No team can match up with that. Dzeko and Martinez are as good as them too.
I would say I see what you're saying, Dan. I would say if Chiesa was not injured, I think you're exactly what you're saying. It would be the most deadly attack of all the teams in Europe. I'll put it there.
We open up. Quadrado can play up too.
He can.
Danilo, De Sciglio, and plus if Allegri wake up, it maybe has some guts to put the Hake over there or so.
I mean, if he did, but he made. But let me ask you, finish your thought, Dan. There. So, what were you saying? Are you saying that
if you look at every other team in the league, there's not a scarier offense now? To me, who like Osimhen and Insigne? Like, no, sorry, I'm better than that. Like, there's not one team. Juventus went from crap up front to actually a legit offensive force, and that's what they needed. They don't score goals.
Yeah, and the thing is, we all know that their midfield needs help, right? But this is a big move that can hide a lot of issues.
It makes everyone better.
Guys, we talk like we got him already.
It's gonna happen.
I would be shocked if it doesn't happen.
I don't know. I'm up when I see.
Well, listen, I agree with that, right? There's always that 5% it could fall through, but if Fiorentina doesn't close the deal now,
yeah,
and they're getting less money, what benefit is it to them?
They've conceded that they're going to have to get rid of him.
You see, there is another question too. Arsenal already offer 80 million,
but he doesn't want to go to Arsenal.
I know. I don't think that, but let's just say Arsenal offer him 10 million.
Well, I mean, if you're going to say that, if you're going to say they're going to keep coming until it's closed, then that's why I think Juventus is smart to just find.
If they make an offer, they can refuse.
Yeah, if he comes at 16 million,
right? That's why I always hate like all these rumors, like Kulu and 60 million for Vlahović. It's like, who said Kulu wants to go to Fiorentina? Like he has to accept that. Like
no, anytime you have a counterpart, it's always hard.
Now, Kulu. He's not happy with Juventus. He will go anywhere, even a Parma.
I mean, it's a moot point anyway. They don't want to play her back, but you're right. The player has to agree. The player has to agree. But this is why it's important. Juventus is starting the offers 3 hours ago. Like it's getting going. They want to close it as soon as possible.
You know what's the problem? The problem is Juventus has to stop to be arrogant, pretentious, and to say, Kulu asked it. Already Commisso asked McKennie with money.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah,
you cannot give the people one.
Yeah, exactly.
Give you Sandro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's exactly. I thought and I said this the other day. I said if Kovalevsky was involved, the reason it would be involved was because Juventus ends up still giving a lot of cash, right? Close to nearly 60 million. And they just put K on the books to make it look like they got, 35 million just to balance out what they paid, not to call it a loss. And Commisso could say, look, we got more than we wanted to sell him to Juventus, right? Like from the optics, but they didn't want K.
Hey boy, Kovalevsky, we bought 40 million.
Yeah.
He's not worth 40 million.
No, he's probably realistically worth 15 to 20, and that's just because he's young.
15 to 20, the most because he's young.
Because he's young, but if you saw him on the field today, he's probably worth 5. So let's be realistic.
Let's project now. I mean, we've talked that we think it's going to happen. You're still skeptical with this move for Juventus. I mean, Juventus.
I hope it does. I hope it goes through.
Okay.
With this move, top 4 has to be a guarantee, right? Like if they don't make top 4, like what the hell?
No, not a guarantee.
No,
nothing's a guarantee.
Everything could change.
When you say guarantee, means what? Like they can't not make the top 4.
I mean, Allegri's fired if they don't make top 4.
Yeah,
no,
everything could change. Maybe. Imagine him in forward the Nocchino or Morata.
Yeah, everything. That's what they're saying.
Well, what is it? 15 game left. You want to give it at least a 10 goal or 15 game?
You would hope he would score 10.
You would hope that Juventus.
I'm talking negative, 15 to 10 goal.
Go ahead, Chris.
No, I was just going to say, do they let Morata go to Barcelona?
Yes, I think that's the move.
Yeah.
I think that's part of the reason they did it. I think Morata goes to Barcelona, which again we hate him.
It's a 35 million.
But that's next year.
But to also pay the rest of the loan fee is big.
So the problem is, we still have it's still Kane behind him, but whatever. We're better.
He's just playing every game. He's not coming off the field. He played every game for Fiorentina. He's going to play every game for Juventus.
Well, here's why I say it's not guaranteed, right? We're behind points that we have to make up, right? And we talked about some of these other teams are getting reinforcements. Like we're chasing Atalanta. They signed Boga today, right? That's done. Plus, they're going to get Gosens back. So they're getting 2 good players. It's not like these teams are going to give up just because we got Vlahović.
Frank, Atalanta right now has the injury problem with COVID and stuff like that. But even without Boga, Atalanta had the team.
Yes, I'm saying that.
He said, if he played Boga or somebody else, he's still.
I agree. I actually think they have plenty of options other than Boga. I think their biggest getting back midseason, assuming they don't sell Gosens to Newcastle or Inter, which would kill me. I think that's getting like a big move, like Juventus getting Vlahović. To me, that makes the difference.
Yeah.
It's a lot like Rome getting Spinazzola in March. If he comes back,
right, right.
Yeah.
Right. But to your point, Dan, it gives us a hell of a better chance to make the top 4 with Vlahović. I don't think we made it without him. I'll put it that way. I don't know if he guarantees us making it, but I don't think we make it without him with the way our offense is.
Not the way those strikers are playing.
Hey, guys, look at this way. Unless we kill ourselves with a small team like in the beginning, with the big team, we never lost. We didn't lose. We didn't have no one to
We
score.
lost to Inter. We lost to. Didn't we lose to Napoli?
No, we were tied.
What did we lose? We lost to Inter 2-1.
That's a problem too. Like you got to win some of those.
You got to win some of them.
Coppa Italia.
Yeah. Well, what do you say?
Imagine if you have someone who score for you.
Yeah.
No. So what I was saying is, look, I think I was confident we weren't going to catch the top 4 teams with the team as it was. With Vlahović, I think we have a really good shot, right? Of course, the team has to perform. Well, here's why it makes total sense for Juventus. If he gives you the difference of making the top 4 versus missing it, and you get the Champions League for next year, and let's say now you beat Villarreal, you pass a turn. You pay for him. Pay for him.
You're a lot more confident going into Villarreal with Vlahović as your striker than
you pay for the deal in
else.
You pay for the deal in 1 year.
You know what worries me? Allegri, where we have him not playing in the beginning, or like De Ligt didn't start the other day.
Listen. When we talk about Milan Juventus, I have a lot to say about this game.
Yeah. But what do you think about? What do you
want to go into that?
No, not yet. No. What do you think? What do you think about what Chris just said, though, Bob? Do you think there's a chance Allegri takes his time to put Vlahović on the field? Like to say he's gonna...
they kick him his ass right away.
Listen,
he did his ass right away.
He did it with
I wanted him to answer that question.
Don't you see? Everybody, all the fans, not just Juventus fans, all the fans, they're already afraid if we get to this deal.
So are you thinking though? So we all realize that they're going to play better once they learn to play as a team. But we're all saying just putting them on the field.
Wait, hold on.
I don't think he starts first game.
You're saying you don't see a scenario where he comes in the 60th minute of the first game?
No, Frank,
I do. Frank, see that?
Frank, put it this way.
Maybe not because of the break.
Everybody know our problem. It's besides the midfield, it's the forwards.
2/3 of the team.
Everybody. So once you go with the forward,
he's not having any skill.
I mean, just if you look at Allegri's history, De Ligt, Locatelli, Chiesa didn't play a lot in the beginning.
Yeah, Dan's right. So I'll say this. I think if we didn't have this break, if let's say we had a game Sunday and this deal gets closed Thursday,
there's no way. I don't think he
would start on the bench.
I don't think he dressed.
He wouldn't. Yes, but now because we have this 2-week break,
I can imagine him saying yes to get confidence
with the team.
He's not
But with this break, that's going to give him a chance to say, well, he practiced for a week, right?
Hopefully. But
apparently he's got COVID right now, so I don't know.
What he has to practice? Just he has to give it. Just to say the phone to give
him the ball. Yeah.
So let's touch on a couple of the other transfer things before we switch to the game.
Yeah.
Right?
If you can remember any off the top of your head.
So
I know Boga we talked on. Yeah. Milan signing a young forward. Apparently, they're gonna.
How do you say his name? Latis.
I don't know. I don't know how to say it. I'm not familiar with the guy. Yeah. They're signing him. They're sending Pellegrini back, and Pellegrini's going to go to Torino on loan.
Yeah, Lazatic, that's his name. And then there's the rumor with Inter wanting Gosens, which again would be
like going hard after him. Apparently,
for 40. I heard an offer between 35 and 40 million, which by the way is what I said he's worth.
There is a rumor Inter wants to take all the Lazio player.
Why? Lazio sucks.
Caicedo.
Yeah, as a backup forward, he's 39. Who cares?
Yeah, but he has
5.
What other deal?
Well, so the reason the Gosens is a possibility is because they're having issues re-signing Perisic. So they're trying to think for the future also with that move. And again, it's a rumor, but it was a strong rumor today.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think it will because I don't think Atalanta is ready to sell. If they wanted to sell him, they could have gave him to Newcastle.
I agree
already.
with that. I mean, I guess like if you were going to take the cash, why wouldn't you have sold him?
Yeah, he would have been gone already.
And especially with all the injuries they're having, I think Gasparini knows how important he is to that team.
Yeah, I think they would sell Zapata before Gozens, honestly.
Yeah, but
That was a rumor too.
That's you have to see if, for example, Newcastle is going to give you 3.5. I don't know if Inter wants to give you 3.5.
He's definitely worth 3.5.
I think you have to. Like, what? He's not going to take
Rugani makes 3.5.
Yeah, it's not going to be.
Rugani is a mistake. Like,
yeah,
like Bernardeschi. Come on, that's
and then
they try to correct
the other trend. Rumors now for Juventus is again depending on if they can get a couple midfielders out. Right, the rumor is if one midfielder leaves for Juventus, they're going to go and get Zakaria.
For not a lot of money.
For 7 million. He's expiring, right? Yeah. And then if two leave, if they were ever able to get Ramsey to leave, they would bring Rovella back early.
And you imagine how long all of us have been told if we get. Once I say if we get Zakaria Vlahović, we can even try to get the championship.
Oh yeah, so that's what I was going to say. So if those moves, Zakaria, they got
it's a lot of ifs.
So to me, Zakaria though, right? He's expiring contract. He's young. He's good. He's the exact type of midfielder you want to put in front of the defense as a pivot point, so Locatelli can go forward. He solves a lot of issues. He's $7 million. The way I look at it is we talk about resources, right? And buying assets. It's like buying a $35 million stock when it crashed to $7 million. Basically, you're getting it for $7 million because the contract's expiring. Like that's you're making a money. You can't lose on the deal.
Yeah, once he signs that contract, his value increases automatically.
You can't lose the deal.
My thing is, don't be greedy with Juventus. They're getting Vlahović.
No, I understood.
I agree, but I do think stuff is like Ramsey. From what I've heard, he's gone. He's 100% gone.
Well, they're not getting anything from him. They're just
but he'll be off the wage. Yeah.
So imagine in that scenario. Let's just say one leaves. Right? Let's just say Ramsey leaves.
I think Arthur's gone too.
And if Arthur goes, okay, so that's the dream scenario. Arthur, Ramsey.
They talk about Bentancur.
Bentancur is wanted.
Who had his best game in 4 years.
Yeah, Bentancur played great. We'll talk about that. So if they leaves two, though, let's just say it's Ramsey and Arthur, right? Because those are the names we've been hearing forever. And you replace it with Zachary and Rovella. Two different profiles.
Zakaria, by the way, who a million teams want him also.
Yeah.
So just
Zakaria and Rovella, and then Vlahović. If you got that, you change your team around in a week.
That's a lot of change in the middle of the season.
It's a lot of changes, but it's a better team by far.
They have problems anyway. You might
by far, it's a better team. It's a team that's has restarted a cycle with
the age.
So, with the age, with the quality of players. So.
There are other rumors here and there, like Napoli was looking at a fullback. I don't know if they closed the deal. Everyone's going to reinforce probably with like one or two little pieces here or there. Nothing near the degree of Vlahović to Juventus. But once all the transfers are officially through, which it should be, that's next week, right? We will have like a rundown of the list of what went through and all that. But I think we should move on to the week games.
Barcelona takes Sandro.
Dude, where do you guys want to go? Do you want to go to Juventus Milan? Since this is the Juventus podcast, basically. This thriller 0-0 game, Milan versus Juventus. We all watched this game together, by the way, except for producer Dom. He banded us.
Right.
Listen, that was the best part of the game.
Never mind the stats, right? Now, our question was in the beginning when we start to watch the game, why the Lit doesn't play. Now what they say is he had Cashito, night.
He had gas?
He had gas?
Yeah, something.
Too much fiber in his I didn't hear that.
No. He wasn't able to play.
His stomach was hurting?
Nevertheless, Rugani played his ass off.
I want to talk about the game, right?
Yeah.
And main, right? You know they do the pagelle, the vote to the player.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I would have started with Allegri. With a coach like that, I would go 4. 4 is generous.
A 4 out of 10, you're saying, for Allegri that game.
Now, when a coach put the wrong player on the wrong position, when the ball, they criticize the ball because everybody knows he has to play close to the adversary, to score. But when this guy has to go in defense to help, why you bother with? Why you criticize him for? It's not the problem. The problem is Morata they can hold the ball. Then Arturo came in. He played good. Why don't you put Arturo in the beginning? Why don't you put Arturo Locatelli McCann?
Yeah,
Are you
Arthur
sure
played good.
Sandro didn't have
Wait, are you complaining?
Why you insist on Sandro?
You're complaining about Bentancur, even though he played his best game?
No, he played great game. He played great game.
But you just said some of the other guys.
No, my midfielder should have been Locatelli, Arthur, McCann.
So don't start Bentancur.
Bentancur, just that game, he did good.
Yeah, that was
That's what I'm saying. You're complaining about somebody who played well, though.
No, but even the Rugani played good. But you won't want to put Rugani with the lead. Come on.
I think he's saying probably like, could you have ever? I mean, I think Bentancur played one of his best games, if not the best game he ever played with Juventus. Right?
Mm-hmm.
He didn't put a foot wrong. He recovered balls.
I see overall.
Yeah, but could you legit predict that as Allegri? Like, did you have any idea?
Right. Yes, you're questioning the starting lineup, but he also knows more than us as far as the day-to-day stuff.
No, he doesn't know more than us.
As far as what's going on with the players, he knows more than us.
You know what? He's arrogant president. So he wants to do everything from his head. Once, he don't do what everybody thinks. He has to put us. Sandro's supposed to be there.
There's some elements of what you're saying, but also Rugani's been playing his ass off since he played. Maybe he deserves some playing time. He's played really well.
If Fidelito could have played, do you think he would have put it on?
I wouldn't, but who knows what Allegri's thinking.
Well, I think that's his point, Like, he keeps emphasizing Sandro, Allegri does, right? He's one of the people he puts in the field. I think
never move a Sandro.
Before the show, Chris made a great comment. I'd trade him for COVID tests, and I agree.
Or N95 mask.
Look how many choice has instead of Sandro. Danilo, the Shiva on the left, Pellegrini. Hey, you put a Sandro. Come on.
Well, so this was the point that we were talking about all game, right? Like, Sandro is like, when you have a tight game and you have a roster that's not a bunch of champions, you need to get the most at every position. And I don't get this fascination putting Sandro in where you know exactly where you're going to get. Like the guy, there's just a reason he always becomes the outlet pass for the team, because he doesn't attack any dangerous space. So the team can just look back, pass it back 5-10 yards, and there's Sandro. And
you notice something, Sandro is already all-time free. Maybe the other team know this guy doesn't do nothing.
It's either that or he has great positioning.
No, I think he has great. Well, the thing is, great positioning would also go offense, right?
Yeah.
He's always back, which means he doesn't attack the space. And then when he does dribble, he dribbles at half speed. And if he makes a move, he lets the person catch up to him, so he has to turn around and go backward. Like you just can't. You look at the team on the other side with Calabria and Leao and Hernandez, and then we have Sandro. Right? Like,
listen, you're not going to get any arguments from anyone talking right now. We all know he sucked.
I say, how you criticize, how you give it 5 or 6 and the performance of play when the coach is the first one who make a mistake. It's important to start with the right formation.
Wait,
it's very important.
What did they give Sandro as a rating? Do you know?
I don't think he heard you.
What was Sandro's rating?
I don't know. I don't never calculate. Because, first of all, Sandro is not one of our team. When we did that, we pick, nobody pick him. Nobody.
Well, who the hell would pick him?
Well, here's the thing. Let's focus on who played well. Bentancur played his best game for Juventus, I think. One of his top 3 games.
Definitely in the last 2 years, his best game.
And Rugani played excellent. Right? Chiellini played excellent. His normal, he was like, when he's there, he's in form. He's good.
DeCilio was very serviceable on the right.
DeCilio was serviceable. He got beat a little bit one-on-one with Leao, but so
he had to be fair. His assignments were very tough on that side. Leao and Hernandez are both way faster than him.
Quadrado played very good the first half.
Why he put McKenna on the left side and on the right side?
He's an idiot.
Well, I think he figured Quadrado was going to help him, but Quadrado played good in the first half and fell in the second half. McKennie is actually someone I criticize. I think he played a bad game.
But also, look who his defender was that he had to go with.
Frankie.
Yeah.
Now, Milan has the good side, yes, on the left.
Yeah.
So you have to put some strength on the right side.
Well, I think what Dan said is true, though. I think McKennie being out wide hurts him. He gets lost a little bit.
We had a cover for Sandro.
And then when you put Sandro behind him, I think that makes any midfielder, even Rabiot, probably plays worse when he's on that side because he's got Sandro behind him.
Yeah, really quickly, too, producer Dom said Chesney actually had a good game.
He made one save.
Not that Milan had anyone, because we should probably talk about them a little bit, too. Not that they had a fantastic game. But Leao was the most dangerous person on the field.
Yeah.
Speed and beating people and taking shots from outside. He's not scared of anything. And he did have a nice shot that Chesney saved.
He did the less than what he usually do.
Listen, the best thing he did was in the 75th minute. I felt good when he took Leao and Calabria out.
Yeah.
I said, oh, good. We can at least get a tie.
I don't know. Boy, those substitution, they take the best out.
Well, Pioli made the right move of taking Messias out. He had a terrible game. Ibra got hurt in the beginning of the game, so you can't count on him. So Giroud had to come in. Diaz was not really anything special. Krunic wasn't anything special. The defense, Romagnoli and Kalulu, you can't judge them because Morata did shit in that game.
Yeah,
you didn't need center defenders.
We didn't talk about the worst. So Morata and Kane, and I was saying this during the game, and I think you guys stopped getting tired of me saying she stopped paying attention to me. But Morata does not know how to do the basic thing. So he doesn't know how to defend the ball. And when he gets the ball out, he somehow gets anticipated no matter who the defender is on him. Like he doesn't run to the ball. The defender could get to it ahead of time or he mistraps it or he makes a bad pass. It's like he can't hold on to the ball for more than 2 seconds. If I was Allegri, I would say, okay, you know what you're going to do this whole month? You are going to literally stand with Quadrado because Quadrado knows how to run back and protect the damn ball. Right? Because Morata, doesn't matter who's defending him. He falls over.
He don't use his arm.
He doesn't use his body to protect the ball.
That's not his game.
Shielding, he struggles with shielding sometimes.
It's horrible. Like it's beyond amateur.
But not only that, when he lays the ball off to sometimes, it's so lazy and inaccurate and just gives opponents a breakaway the other way.
Yeah, again.
It was one of his worst games I've ever seen. And I love Morata. He's been one of my favorite players since he first came to Juventus the first time. This was a terrible game for him.
Morata has a very specific game. He likes to run in space.
No,
right?
Morata, if you put it as a second punta,
what you call?
He can do something.
He's very unselfish. He'll pass the ball. That's why he was good with Ronaldo.
He's in a forward.
He didn't mind passing the ball.
I like him better on the left side. I don't want him as my striker.
In the middle, he's too easy to mark. He can't beat anyone.
As a matter of fact, Morata, with Ronaldo, he made 21 goals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I said. He's the perfect partner for Ronaldo because he doesn't mind passing it when he's on the 6.
He's definitely a compliment. He's not the guy.
But you put him in the middle of the defense where he can't win a ball in the air. He gets anticipated and beat by every defender. He gets knocked over.
And then, Frank, they're never in the middle.
No.
Never in the middle. Yeah. In the middle, who was McCann?
Unless you have McKennie making runs to the 6-yard box, you got nothing in the middle.
And the sad part is Kane is worse than Morata.
Listen, Kane played better than Morata yesterday. Now, that's not saying much.
10 minutes?
For the 10 minutes, he played better than Morata.
No, Kane right now, he don't play titolare in any other team of Serie A.
No, he's been atrocious, but he was better than Morata.
Something's in his
head. Oh, better than Morata, Ken?
Yesterday? No, Morata, you're giving your scores of 1 to 10. Morata was a 1.5 yesterday. That's how bad he was.
I think the only way you can say Kane was better was just when you factor he played 10 minutes, Morata played 80. But other than that, they both did nothing.
I don't think
they're useless. And I like Morata, but it's just like, dude, you're doing basic things. You're not helping yourself. Like,
Morata did the one thing. Once was in the middle, when the guy kicked his foot, it was a penalty. The whole time he was in there.
And look, Milan was missing their 2 center defenders too, right?
And they didn't need him.
with Kyer and Tomori, and we did not get a shot on goal.
It's fantastic.
To stay on Milan, I know Tonali's had a really good season and all that. I don't think he was crazy impressive yesterday. The announcers were saying like he's a god, and he didn't play that well yesterday.
I agree with you.
I don't think he played terrible.
Also, he's getting too cocky. He's annoying on the field now. He's crying for every ball. He's a lot like Barella annoys the shit out of me when I watch him. That's what Tonali reminded me of yesterday.
Well, and they were saying, "Oh, you know, he hasn't fouled anyone." There was 3 straight fouls he did on the ball.
It wasn't good.
Even they're talking about the night. They say the ref was good.
No, he wasn't.
No.
The next day, they talk. The paper say he sucked.
He wasn't good.
He called to penalty. But what I don't understand, Juventus should talk once. They did the trip ball. And the ball, he didn't give a yellow card to the player.
Yeah, he gave 2 yellow cards, one to each team very early, and then he was just so inconsistent with the rest of the game.
And when they talk, protect the good player, protect the ball there.
Well, one of the things I said I think I turned to Daddy or you guys, I forget who in the middle of the game. I said
I was probably sleeping.
You probably were. The fact that Morata was still in the game in the second half shows you more about what Allegri thinks about the options he has with Kane, right? That he just and Kyer George, because he was playing so bad and he still wanted to leave him in there and not put in the other guys.
You play that bad and you stay on the field for 80 minutes. That's bad. You don't have any options.
You think one day we see this guy was the guts to put Ake?
No, I don't.
You know when he put Ake, when we win for nothing the last 10 minutes.
In the Italian Cup, he's going to play again. He'll play off the bench for 20 minutes.
I think he forgets he can sub, honestly.
Yeah.
Just forget.
It wasn't a good game on either end. I think the draw was justified. And I don't say like Milan being upset that they drew. Like they should have got the win.
I will say it was a bit of a throwback game. I think people are giving it.
That I think is what Allegri say. We stay 7 points behind the Milan.
Yeah, like that's a win. Like that's a win. It's a missed opportunity. It's a missed opportunity.
But Frank, what you were just saying, I wanted to say it too. So go ahead, finish your sentence.
I was going to say, I don't know if we were going to say the same thing, but I said I think a lot of people were saying, "Oh, this game was like so bad, so bad." I think it was a bit of a throwback game. It was a well-fought game. I think Juventus played better this game than they did at the beginning of the season defensively as a shape.
So this game reminded me of a 0-0 draw in the 90s, like we said the week before. Only, last week we had Atalanta Inter 0-0. That was fantastic. That was a really good game, 0-0 with actual plays and opportunities. This game sucked. This was not an enjoyable game, and it reminded me of the 90s and early 2000s.
You want to talk about a worse game, switch to the other one.
If you're talking about, you talk a little bit about it for Juventus and not for Milan. Because Juventus probably play like not to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not to lose.
I think Allegri did not show that we were the team 7 points behind.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's move on from this because it's 0-0 game. Let's go to the Inter game because this was an even worse 0-0. No, not the Inter game. I'm sorry, Dom. The Atalanta Lazio game because this was an even worse 0-0 game.
Awful.
If anyone watched this game, I apologize that you had to sit through this. Atalanta, first of all, had 9 starters out. So right there, and these are really quality players who didn't play. Zapata, Muriel, Ilicic, Malinowski, Darun, Hadabor, Pasalic, Coop Miners, Gosens, solid people. They dressed 11 real people, and then the rest like kids that barely went through puberty. That was their team. Yeah, the one kid they put in at the end of the game forgot to put his shin guards on. Like that's how not ready this team was. So the fact that Lazio's home and plays against basically a Primavera team and can't muster up more than 1 shot on net is disgusting. And I understand why Atalanta was happy for that 1-1 draw. If I'm the owner of Lazio, I'm firing Sarri.
Yeah, but let me say something about Atalanta. You know Atalanta. We love Atalanta play the game, how they play the game.
They didn't even play.
Italy is playing bad.
Look at the team. Look at the team they played with.
The COVID. But even, I don't know, even with the COVID, the injured, They're not playing the way it used to be.
No,
they don't.
right
They
now
haven't.
they're not. They can't. They literally had like 8 defenders on the field at one point because they don't have anyone.
Yeah, they ended the game with 4 center backs in defense.
It was ridiculous.
That's my only thing is that Atalanta has not hit that gear, and if they even find a 5-6 game run of it at the end of the season where Gosens comes back, people come back, they're going to be very hard to catch up points if they hit that that quality of play. Right?
I want them to be good.
They're not going to drop it.
You know what's surprising? With the Tori would have come down with the Africa tournament. Napoli, no, he's just to do the point anyway.
Oh well, they played a shitty team today. Let's this game. Do you guys have any further thoughts on? Not that it was a terrible game. Yeah.
It was pretty bad. Trying to think if there's any standout.
As soon as that whistle blew, Gasperini had the biggest smile on his face. He's like, "I got a point with this team, with this bunch of guys."
I know, but still, that to me is like when you're the 4th team. Is that ever like tying away? Is that really a win?
On the road, that kid didn't even hit puberty yet, and they
Yeah. All right, we talk about Atalanta with the problem they have. Let's talk about Lazio.
Go ahead, talk about it.
And they didn't get the no
61% possession. They don't do shit with it. Great, congrats.
What I think, tick.
This was the worst game of the season, I think. Like
it was hard to watch.
Well, listen, we're not surprised. When we did our beginning of the season thing, I think all of us put Lazio pretty low, basically because of Sarri. I did. I remember saying that. We put him at 6.
You see, usually coach like Sarri say you have to give it 3-4 years. I'm not sure with 3-4 years Sarri will win.
3-4 years. The guy's not going to be coaching. He's not going to be coaching 3-4 years.
It's the idea to talk tick. Oh, you have to go half too.
They should fire him and get Ranieri. Bring him in.
Yeah, Ranieri just got fired by Watford. He just got fired by Watford, so he's available.
I know, I saw that. Can he come back to Serie A? Like seriously, like why does he have to go in
England?
Why not? Everybody's also got these crappy coaches. Ranieri can't coach in Serie A.
He's been in England before. That's why.
Yeah, well, he won with Leicester City. He has the greatest story ever.
I know. He's been in several teams now.
You see how it's soccer in England. He won the championship, and now he got sacked.
Yeah,
but remember last year with Samp, he did really well with Samp, and they didn't re-sign him.
Why did they get rid of him?
They just I don't know. They couldn't come to an agreement. They wanted
maybe
to
they come to an agreement.
Yeah, I mean he wanted more money, but like that guy is a solid coach. I have way more confidence in him than Sarri. Running my team
for sure.
So yeah, this was just a pathetic performance from Lazio, and I can't say that I'm all that surprised, to be honest. Like this is what you get for them.
Sam has to be careful not to go in Serie B.
Who?
Sam.
Yeah. We'll run that game
closer
too.
To Venezia, I think. Cagliari is getting closer to them.
Yeah.
But never mind the Salernitana and Genoa. They put.
Did you make a card for the Inter game?
I didn't. We'll talk about that one. Dom, what other card do we have? We have Verona. No, I'm sorry. Sassuolo, Torino. What? Yeah. So this game, I mean, I put this because there weren't a lot of good games this weekend. But this game, in my eyes, 1-1 draw. Torino got robbed on this game. If anyone watched this,
they
could have had 10 goals. Torino was all over them. The high press that they do, Fratesi and Lopez couldn't do anything. Like they usually dominate the midfield. They couldn't even touch the ball. They were pressing so much and just peppering shots, and really deserved way more than a 1-1 draw. Brecolo's very talented.
They did the 3 posts.
3 posts they hit. Yeah. It was
how good Singo?
Singo played great again. He played really, really well. The only reason why Sassuolo scored is because Berardi had a crazy run at the end of the game for 50 yards and then passed it to Raspadori and scored.
Sassuolo, Berardi up the team.
Yeah, I mean he got them a point because they don't deserve
home record though 7-3-2 and then away 2-2-6.
Yeah, I mean they're inconsistent on the road. It's hard, but Juric, that team is fun to watch. Nobody presses more than them. That's why Inter will have trouble with Torino because Torino press like crazy. They'll press their defenders. I'm a big believer
in the teams that press like Atalanta or Torino. Like they give anyone a hard time on the day.
Of course, you force them to make mistakes, right?
Yeah, because the talent is not 1 through 11. They're not.
That's why I say let's hope whoever Vlahović, because of the team we play, Torino, Verona, they all play like Atalanta. They all play the same, physically,
Yeah.
one-on-one. Let's say we're the guy.
Yeah.
Why
So
you don't have confidence in Kane and Morata holding the ball?
What? Kinda Morata. Don't mention them. It's better to play 9 people.
We're
So-
just going to opt out of the last 2 players.
I know this wasn't like what most people come to these podcasts for to talk about Torino Sassuolo, but honestly, out of all the games I watched this week, this was the most
No, but these
entertaining
are 2
one.
good teams. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a
We
game
like
that
these
ended up
teams.
representing
We like
those
their
2 teams.
coaches.
They're
Yeah,
good.
but it's not like teams with huge fan bases or people that like to talk about unless you're really into the league, you're not going to be talking a lot about these teams. But it was a good watch. They should have really had like 6 goals.
Really quickly, I didn't know Mulder had a twin.
What? Oh, I put him there twice. Sorry, you found the mistake.
You
Good job.
found the typo.
That should
Brought to
be-
you by Whiteout.
That should be Berardi up there. I apologize. It's my mistake.
You found the typo segment. Woo!
Dom, go to the rest of the games and we'll briefly talk about each one. So I made this joke before. Genoa, Udinese 0-0. I can tell you, Genoa has their new coach. They've already played the best game of the season. Portanova, we make fun of Portanova. The guy was all over the field. Did not stop running. He played so freaking good. I'm not even joking. You guys think I'm joking right now?
No,
He played so good.
I was watching, and I think I said out loud, "Oh, now I know why he's valued at $20 million."
The guy was playing center forward. He was running all over the place. Like he was insane.
No, but the whole team.
Yeah,
The
but
whole team.
still, I think if you lose 10 pounds, it will not be bad.
It's a hair. He needs a haircut. He'll lose some weight if he does that.
They played good, man. They fought for the coach.
That was the best game I've seen them play in a very long time.
But that's
Still 0-0.
We have to talk about the second game because the first game it's the reason the coach is new. I want to see the second game.
But you're right. But you can tell from one game the mentality of like, all right, we're gonna press and we're actually gonna try to force shit, and that's what they're trying to do, which is good.
All right, you guys keep running these down. I have to go to the bathroom really, really bad.
That's a podcast first, people.
That's the first. Let's go down.
So we have Hellas Verona beat Bologna 2-1. I did not see this game. So who watched this game? Any comments?
I didn't see it, but I think Bologna was up 1-0 and they lost 2-1.
Yeah.
We got Tanya saying podcast potty break. Yes, that's exactly right in the comments. So we already talked about Genoa Udinese in Inter Venezia game. Let's talk about this one because this was really annoying. Venezia had a 1-0 lead.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they did, didn't they?
No.
No.
They tied.
They tied it?
Yeah, they tied. Then the Inter and then the 9 minutes days ago.
Yeah, well, either way, Inter basically
won.
They won in the 90th minute. Let's go header where I think he might have punched the defender in the face. So they were literally like 2 minutes away from Inter getting a tie and dropping points, and they snatched the win, which was really annoying because it's like, but it's Inter. That's what Inter does all year this year.
Yeah, I feel bad for Venezia though. That's like,
yeah, I mean, you listen. Venezia didn't really have a whole lot of chances before the goal they scored. At least when I saw it, that was the first time they had gotten there and they tied it. But still, to give up the loss in the 90th minute is always tough. And it just seems like Inter just keeps figuring out a way to do that this year, which is really annoying.
Good thing I wore pants today because I just walked up and down. I usually do this podcast half naked.
Well, next time included diapers so you don't have to get up.
Wait, you guys are talking about Inter Venezia?
Yeah.
I don't know did you guys see the first goal when did you talk about Dzeko going up for the header and kind of elbowing and pretty much fouling? You talked about it?
Is that the second goal or the first goal?
That was the first one. Barella's goal, where he, it was a 50-50 ball, but he kind of beat the shit out of the player.
Somebody said Barella's goal wasn't a regular.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think a foul should have been called there, and then the play shouldn't have continued. In my eyes, I saw a foul there from Dzeko, but whatever. It was heartbreaking for Venezia to not close that out and at least get a draw after, having the lead. Sucks.
They were leading, right?
Yeah, they were winning.
I said that to these two guys.
Henry scored a header, a nice,
I said that to these two guys, and they go, no, they tied it.
Am I the only one who watches the games?
I watched it, and I said that to them, and they convinced me that I was wrong.
All right, no,
I was like,
you're right.
What I had for dinner, and that was a couple hours ago.
Yeah, I knew they scored first.
They had the lead, and you saw Inter getting very frustrated. And one thing you will see from Burrell, like he was mad, and he was actually trying to push people and be like a captain, which was nice. But they were frustrated for a while.
As a character, it's like Tonale Barella.
Yeah.
They sometimes, if they find a real ref, they throw them out.
Yeah. No, I think Barella should get way more yellow cards for the way he talks to officials. He bitches constantly. Yeah. But they got 3 points, and that's what Inter does. They got 3 points.
That's what I said. I said that's been their thing. They've been figuring out a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead. You can pick it up from there.
Oh, okay. We talked about Verona Bologna. Oh, yeah. Yes. This game, I mean, you had Simeone, by the way, who hasn't scored in a while, should have had a few goals. He needs to start scoring again. I think he's stuck on 12 or 13. Caprari, did you see his goal?
Yeah, it was beautiful.
The back heel, goal, very, very nice. Yeah, they crossed the ball pretty well. Verona, they attack well.
Actually, I would say if you haven't seen it and you're listening to the show, go Google that, because that back heel was pretty sweet.
I mean,
you know what I read, which I don't like too much. Barak is already from Juventus.
No, he's not the quality. That's ridiculous. No.
It's enough quality for you.
I mean, listen, he's the same as Kane. We don't want another one.
Different types of players.
No, it's like a Rabiot or something like that.
Yeah.
No, Barak is not a. He's not a champion. He's not a Champions League player.
No, we don't need more of those guys.
But you had that, and they won. Hellas Verona's playing well. Tudor keeps doing his thing. Mihailovic, I hear he had a nice trap on the sideline. I didn't see that. Somebody told me. Somebody told me he had a really nice trap on the sideline.
Yeah,
I think Dom said that.
Yeah, but Bologna is in a little bit of funk. What else?
Bologna deserve a little bit more than losing. The tie was.
They have a better team than what they're producing right now. They're very inconsistent.
As much as we love Mihailovic, they haven't been doing
about Juventus looking for a left full back, right? Why they don't get Tiki? I don't understand.
You want another teenager?
Hickey.
Hickey, yeah, he's a teenager who's barely played a full season.
He's a good player.
Do you know how expensive he's going to be?
Wow, what expensive?
He's going to get bought in England next year. You see, and how much he's going to go for?
I don't think it Gosens.
Frankie throws that in every week. It doesn't matter what the topic.
Christo, so far they don't talk too much about Tiki. That's why I say they should get it.
I'm telling you, he's going to be sold for a lot of money.
When Bologna bought Hickey, there were very big teams also after him. Yeah. I don't even know why he chose Bologna, to be honest. Yeah. But there were big teams after him. You had Cagliari tie Fiorentina 1-1. Vlahović didn't play because he had COVID, right? So that was right there.
So Saponara.
Saponara didn't play.
And that they tie in 10 people.
Oh, yes. Really quickly, by the way, Inzaghi's got COVID. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
But they don't have any games, do they? So it doesn't matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
No, you know when he has to get COVID.
Come on, give it to me now. I got 2 weeks off. So this game, Fiorentina, Cagliari, both teams missed a penalty shot. Fiorentina got a ridiculous red card. He did not deserve a red card. Odriozola, I think it was. It wasn't a red card. It wasn't a red card, and they got the penalty shot and the red card.
That was
terrible officiating.
I don't even know if it was a penalty.
João Pedro, Italian call-up. João Pedro for this week scored a nice fadeaway header to the far post. Very nice goal. And Sotil tied it up at the end, which I thought was a weak play by Cragno. I think he should have did better on it. But 1-1 draw. Cagliari picked up points. Fiorentina, I don't know. I feel bad for Fiorentina with everything that's going on. They deserve better.
You just remind me. Let me check Twitter. Maybe something updated.
Yeah, you should probably check that.
Live on
we got Hickey info. Hickey loves salted and cured meats. What the hell are you talking about?
What the?
Is that a real thing? Or you invented bologna? I don't know. We gotta
Wow.
Someone
We need a new producer.
Someone ban our producer from the chat because that's atrocious.
We're actually looking for a
his
new
jokes are as good as
producer.
his producing.
But we're
He
looking
loves
for a new
cured
producer.
meats.
So
Yeah, is your wife available, Dom? She's usually a better producer than you.
tweet us.
Fiorentina beat Salernitana 4-1. This game was 1-1 at one point, and then
This was
Napoli.
like
Napoli, Salernitana.
I was
4-1.
bummed by this game. I was like, for some reason, I wanted it to be closer, and it ended up being like a runaway, like 40 minutes in.
Yeah, I think Insigne scored his like 150th goal for the team or something like that. Mertens had a goal, but I mean it's Salernitana. It's what you expect them to win. Spezia Samp. Poot is asking us to talk about Spezia's goalkeeper. I don't know why. I mean he
did great.
He had nice saves. Yeah, they won 1-0 Spezia over Samp, who continue to lose. Our boy Daniela Verde scored a goal. The next Insigne. He did have some nice saves. Belic is his name, the goalie, I think.
He did.
From
he's my backup for the team, I think.
Well, he didn't. He had a nice game. We talked about Torino Sassuolo, and then Rome, the only away team that won this week, won 4-2 versus Empoli. This game wasn't even close. They had like three goals in 30 minutes or something.
It was quick.
It was 4 goals in the first half. It was over basically after the 35th minute.
Actually, they come back and they score 2 goals.
Yeah, but I mean, it's 4-0. It's the second half. They're not trying anymore. They don't care.
But have you noticed that is the thing with Rome? Like they tend to like fall asleep and like let teams come back.
Yeah.
Oliveira, they're signing from who played last week, scored. He scored again. Abraham had 2 goals, and Yolo scored.
Too. He's playing well.
Yeah, I mean, he's taking a role in that midfield. He's playing.
Let's say 2 words about Roma, about especially Mourinho. He say he wants a good player. He bought Oliveira and that guy. They're okay player, but not that they're a great player.
I think they're players that can play for Rome.
He criticized the rest of the Roma player. Wow, Oliveira made the Comcazziano. They're not great player. They go okay.
I mean, for Rome, it's what they're looking for. In the chat, Pooter's asking if Frank fell asleep.
I'm just listening intently.
Okay.
I'll say something when you guys say something that's worth saying.
Wow! Holy shit! You're off the podcast too. I'm kicking it. I'm going solo, guys. I'm sick of you.
Actually, Putin, I did fall asleep. I'm just kind of trying to hide it.
That is the week round 23 scores. Dom, throw up our predictions to see how we did.
Terribly.
I gained points on people. I got 3. So we all got the only one who got the Lazio Atalanta game right was Pietro. He got a tie. He picked tie. Me and Chris got the Torino Sassuolo game correctly. Frank and I both picked the correct score of the Verona Bologna game, and I got the Milan Juventus game right. So I picked up 4 points, and then Frank picked up 2. Pietro picked up 1, and Chris picked up 1.
I've been in a bit of a rut. I feel like I've been on the same team.
I caught up to you. So Chris has 43 points. Frank and I have 37, and Pietro has 30. So
I'm so good.
I'm so good.
I'm so good.
Yeah. We will make more picks in a couple of weeks or next week whenever there's games. Dom, throw up the Italian Cup bracket. Oh, yeah, let's do the table. Sorry, I forgot about the table. I don't know that much change in the table.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Napoli leapfrog Milan, so you have Inter still in first, Napoli in second, Milan, and then Atalanta top 3. Juventus is 1 point behind with an extra game played.
You see, Venezia has 1 game less than Sampdoria.
He always looks at the bottom first. He loves that bottom of the pyramid.
No, if they win that game, if Udinese too.
We have to speed this up because I think I got the lit stomach bug right now.
Yeah, so you're right. Yeah, Venezia has to be careful.
There's a lot of partying going on in this podcast.
Samp has to be careful. Venezia has to be careful. Venezia, by the way, Busio has lost his spot to Cuisance. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
Yeah.
He's not playing as much anymore.
That's because I picked him on my team, so he won't play anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think with the biggest changes in this was really at the top, right? With Milan tying it just gives more room to Inter with one game in hand. They already have 4 points ahead of the second place. So if they win in that game versus Bologna that they make up, that's 7.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like it's gonna quickly become whereas like do they lose sight or lose hope of trying to go after that first, that first place? It's gonna be curious.
It's not over.
No, it's not over.
Mhm.
But when Milan plays Inter, they're gonna have to beat them, or they're gonna take the tack like Juventus. We're still 7 points behind. That's a win. Like no, it's not. You
Yeah.
have to actually beat them.
If you look a little further down, I think there's a real chance of Verona and Torino passing Fiorentina if they lose Vlahović and Lazio.
Yeah,
That's
I think
happen.
Torino for sure, and I think Verona.
Torino's really fun to watch, man. If you get a chance to watch them, the way they play, it's actually fun, And Chris is right. Singo has been crazy on that right side.
Dude, he's awesome.
he's been really good.
He's gonna get sold for a lot of money, dude.
Yeah, Sengo, I think it's pronounced actually, but I call him Singo. Dom.
Cinco de Mayo.
Dom, throw up the bracket for the. Not that we're going to go over these games, just so people know who the final 8 teams are. There was no upsets in the Italian Cup. Juventus beat Samp 4-1, so it's Juventus versus Sassuolo. You got Fiorentina versus Atalanta, and then you have Milan versus Lazio, and you have Rome versus Inter.
Oh, that was an upset, no? Fiorentina over Napoli?
I mean, the way it happened, I guess, because it was. It went to extra time and there were so many red cards and stuff, and then they ended up scoring 3 goals in extra time. Yes, sure, whatever. But, I mean, if you would say the final 8 teams, are there any huge surprises? No. It's not. I mean, it's a standard. You don't have a second division team in there.
I want to see a year where there's like a third division team.
They don't even.
Well, if you remember,
anymore.
They don't even let those like the 4th and 5th division teams in the tournament anymore.
By the way, I also heard
they change actually. The best team of Serie A, they come in from the 8th.
Yeah, they want to play less games. It's understandable.
I also heard that FIFA changed the rule about loans. Is that a done deal?
I think it was talked about. I don't know if it's official.
Starting next year, where I think you're only allowed to loan someone for 1 year at a time, which is basically.
Well, Chelsea's screwed if that's the case. They loan everybody.
So is Juventus. We have these guys that we can't get rid of, so we just keep loaning them year after year.
Well, Chelsea's the main reason why this is happening.
Yeah, Chelsea literally has like 300 people on their roster, and they just loan everyone out.
Really?
It's done.
Yeah, it's insane. So all these Italian Cup games are on February 9th, it looks like, unless that changes for some reason.
Hey, it could be surprise in there. Empoli-Inter. Empoli deserve more than Inter.
You know what I'm rooting for is Juventus Fiorentina to go through so Vlahović can play versus them. That's what I'm rooting for.
Vlahović isn't playing in the Coppa Italia.
I think he would play. He's got to play in that game. Yeah, man.
Are you just going to play every game of every minute?
I think Vlahović does not leave the field.
No,
once Allegri puts him in, he stays in.
I think you have to prioritize Serie A and the Champions League.
But Dan, that might be like 3 weeks in with Allegri.
Well, I know, but I mean, that's true. February 9th. Well, no, it'd be the next round.
He might not even play yet. He might still have to practice.
Oh, my stomach.
Anyway, you guys got anything else to say?
Yeah, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell icon so you can join us live.
Yeah.
Yes, join us in the chat. Follow us on everything. Podcasts. Our subscribers are going up. Our play counts are going up. People must really like what I have to say.
They really like us. They like us.
Yeah, I suggest listening, not watching.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yes, that's been the suggestion. Or black out your screen.
Anyway, have a good night, everyone.
Bye.